Black Phone 2 is officially out now. In this film, we are getting a look from a new perspective in the battle with the grabber. Now, in Black Phone 1, we are focused on the story of Finny and how he is dealing with the grabber, his time in the basement, up until Finny ultimately wins. But in the first movie, there are some things that you notice with Gwen and the dreams, and kind of wondering why she is having these dreams all the time. In movie number 2, I believe the director does a good job of focusing on Gwen, the dreams, and ultimately what would come to be her relationship with the grabber. Now, in this film, the dreams are the center part of it, as you see Gwen have these incredible dreams, but in this film, they are more vivid. You are able to sit there, understand, and I think early on, we're getting the sense of where the movie will go. Everything in this film takes us back to a place called Alpine Lake, which we soon realize the importance of that specific location. Now, what I do enjoy about Black Phone 2 is the focus is not necessarily filled and focused on horror from an action standpoint. So we're not necessarily getting these fight scenes, bloody, gory scenes where the grabber is doing what he does. But in this film, we are getting more of a psychological film where the battle with the grabber is all in the mind. But what you realize with the battle of the mind is it becomes a battle that encompasses everyone that is present on Alpine Lake. Now, if I had to look at something that really stood out and was like, oh, wow, this was actually really good, is how the slow parts at the beginning kind of come together before the end and it makes sense. So when you are looking at the dreams and the images at the early stages of the film, I think if you don't pay attention, you're going to be lost as it kind of goes back to what is on the screen. I think having the same characters bring on the role is a good thing. Now, we do have some new characters that are brought in, but I think they fit the situation well because each of them has a specific purpose for why they are in the movie. And I think besides the wrapping up of the movie and the conclusion, one of the biggest pros within this film is that when you are looking at the perspective of movie number 1, you are looking at it from Finny. Bringing Gwen to center stage and having her be the focus of this movie is the right choice. Because as you saw in the first one, there is a lot of references to the dreams and how important they are. And I think the director did a good job of bringing those dreams to the screen. Because those dreams are not just meant for her, but you see everyone that is involved within them and how they all have a specific purpose. Now, if we had to look at a few cons, I think one thing that stands out is that the movie at times is slow. I don't know if they were necessarily looking to go for a slow burn and have a lot of what was on the screen kind of morph into your brain, but the slow parts were hard to get through. And I think when you have a slow part or multiple slow areas within a horror movie, it can cause an audience to drift off. I think the next con, and really the only other con that I think is within this movie, is when you are looking at the overall impact that Gwen has, and this being her focus of the movie. When you look at Finn, it's almost like they are taking him in two different directions. Number one, he at the beginning, you think he's this tough guy. He defeated the serial killer. He's good to go. But there are multiple different areas within the movie that make him feel weak. It almost makes it feel like he can't protect his sister. He is struggling. Obviously, he is struggling with what he dealt with, but he can't almost defend himself. And so at times in the movie, it almost made him feel like his character just got weaker over the time frame between the first and the second experience with the grabber. Now, for overall rating, I am typically not a big fan of sequels in horror movies because a lot of times they just flop and are not entertaining. But with this one, I think they did a good job. For me, The Black Phone 2 is a 4 out of 5. I think it's an entertaining movie. It's not necessarily scary, but I think it does a good job of really messing with the mind. So, Black Phone 2 is out now. It is a 4 out of 5. I do recommend it, especially if you've seen the first one. Stay tuned for more reviews. There are more coming this weekend. Make sure to hit the subscribe button as we approach 900, and I will talk to you all later.